This is our Forex blog for February 24th, 2014, and this is one of our easiest ways of using our software. You use these currency indexes, which let you see as a chart what each individual currency is doing. You can clearly see the dollar's going down. You can draw trend channels on there, and oftentimes when it's at or below the lower trend channel, you're going to get a bounce, especially when you see a little double bottom like that. You can obviously spot this downtrend, draw a trend line up, and look for a major move at these key levels when trend lines are broken, especially also when hourly moving average is broken too, when the trend spends 12, 14 hours underneath the hourly and only a few hours above it. When it breaks, it's very likely to go down. The yellow line is the point of control, and all the dollar pairs, this is the price most actively traded during the previous day. Most times it's going to be a major area of support, and once broken it's going to cause a big move down. You can see that the euro also acted as major areas of support. The euro also had trouble getting above the previous day's high. You have a nice little trend line break. It breaks the 15-minute moving average and just trends down for many hours. And for those of you who don't want to have to learn how to trade, you just want to take signals, you can bring up a range chart and add our Forex signals to it. So I'll do that right now so you can see how the euro looked today. This is a 5 pips per bar range chart of the euro, and I'm adding our Forex signals right now. It orders the data and then it calculates and analyzes all the swing levels. This automatically determines Fibonacci retracements, Fibonacci profit targets. It knows approximately 35 different areas of support and resistance that it buys and sells at. It looks for, as of this week, support clusters and resistance clusters. You know, if the market's coming down and the longer term trend of the euro is up, if there are 3 to 5 areas of support right there, we'll tend to look for buys there, which you actually had today at the low. And so for those of you who don't want to have to learn how to trade, our Forex signals with close to 15,000 lines of code are very intelligent. They use all of our statistical models to know whether the trend is up or down and whether the trend is likely to continue up or down. And we also use Fibonacci time extensions. When the market's coming down, we give it enough time to get out all the buyers before we sell again. We have Fibonacci profit target levels, and like I said, we also have clusters of support resistance. If the longer term trend is up, for instance, one of the areas this bounced off of was the previous day's point of control in the euro, the price most actively traded. This is last week's area, and this particular one is an example of the fib or support resistance clusters I just put in. It was also one of the daily pivot levels you can see right here. So there's 3 or 4 areas of support right here, and the weakness was diminishing, and so we got out of we actually weren't in a short at that point. We had a very small profit on that trade because it had a lot of noise. We try to let it, especially trades that look like they're initially weak, we try to give them room to continue, which oftentimes catches an extra 30 to 50 pips on some of the big moves. It's very hard once you get out of a big move late to get back into it, because usually by that time it reverses. So we try to give some trades, but not others, wide stops. You can see in this case it had a very tight stop. It kept it there, and once the market went up too much, we yanked the stop up and got out pretty much with every pip. Same thing with this down move. We got short right here, and this thing had gone down too far statistically. It was coming up to some support areas, so we tightened the stop and we captured probably 85–90% of that trade's profit. So again, you can learn how to trade using all the different things that we teach, all the different statistical tools, or you can just put the signals on the chart and wait for a buy and sell signal. And you know, I spend 6 to 12 hours every single day making 10 to 50 or more changes every single day to these Forex signals. I also trade, auto trade these signals with my own money, so accuracy is extremely important, and making bigger wins on good trades compared to very tiny losses on losing trades is extremely important to me. And the exact same trailing stops that I use is in the Forex signals, and you can choose to show those or not. If you would just like to get the signals and not have the trailing stops, which, by the way, I think you'd be absolutely foolish not to use them, because there's 16 rules, over 16 rules in these trailing stops. Sometimes I have wide stops, other times I tighten them. Sometimes situations make me widen stops again and then tighten them again, depending on what the market does. You know, you're not going to exit with more pips on your own, probably. More than a very small percentage of the time are you going to ever get more pips than our trailing stops do. But if you do want to take them off, you can just uncheck show stops. Now this is one of my special folders that I test this with. But if you take those trailing stops off, they'll just show up with the signals, and you can, you know, use your own methods to get out if you like to. And you can also, when you see a signal, you know, get short, and if the market looks like it's not going to go back up, get short again. You can also scalp it once you see a buy right here. Maybe you miss this trade right here and it goes back up, and you have, you know, a nice little trend line coming down. That's probably not the best one. Right off of this, you can see these two levels hit. It had trouble getting above it. The fact that there was a buy signal right here, you know that it would still be in a long trade. If you started trading a little bit later and you saw this, knowing that there was a major buy signal here, even if you didn't have all the support resistance areas up and you didn't even know why our system gave you a buy, you can manually trade it by taking a trend line break right here, and you can see it went up from around 20 all the way up to 47. So it went up another 27 pips.